I'm the music teacher listening to every single Mario Kart soundtrack ever. Today I'm listening to one that I have never heard before. It's the soundtrack for Mario Kart Wii. Let's get it started. We're gonna get rocking and rolling right away with the main channel. Let's cook this thing. Oh, Wii Channel. I know how words work. Don't worry about it. Let's check this out.
Mario Kart Wii! Woohoo!
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. What an incredible piece of music. It starts off, I think it's going to a 12-bar blues, and it doesn't at all. That type of an idea going on, but it goes somewhere totally different. Now you might be saying, well, what do you mean it goes somewhere totally different? And what do you mean, a 12-bar blues? Well, let me tell you. So let's call it a stereotypical blues is going to be 12 bars. I'm saying, what on earth is a blues? A blues is both a genre of music and it's also a musical form. Both a genre and a form. So a 12-bar blues typically goes like this. We have a 1 chord. Then sometimes we have a quick change. We go to a 4, and then back to a 1, 1. And then we go 4, and then 4 again to 1, and we don't need to write 1 a second time there. 1, 1. So 4 repeats here, 1 repeats here, 1 repeats here. And then we can go 5, 4, 1, 5. This would be the stereotypical. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And because we have these 12 bars or 12 measures, that's how we get the term 12-bar blues. So we have 12 bars. Now, what we can hear in this piece of music is it's directionally walking towards this 12-bar blues, but it does not stick to this form of 1-4-1-1, 4-4-1-1, 5-4-1-5. No, indeed. It starts off with, here's our 1. Then the ba-ba-bum. That's like flat 3, 4, 1. But still, we can consider that like an embellishment of the 1 area, right? So. And right there. We just went from 4 to 5 without any of this. So we literally skipped from like here, this 1 area, we skipped all the way over here, right? We skipped 5 through 8. That's why I said it's kind of like a 12-bar blues, but it's not really a 12-bar blues. Really, really cool stuff. Yeah, and now we're somewhere totally different. Boom. Now we're up a whole step. We're in the key of A major because, I mean, why not? So yeah, really, really, really cool blues. Let me know how the mix is in the chat, if you can hear the guitar, if you can hear the voice, and if you can hear the music. Okay, let's check out title screen next. go! Ah, the SNES motif! That right there was gesturing at the motif as well. And here it is, right on the nose. Oh my goodness. All right. See, now this is the first Mario Kart soundtrack we listened to where it's like, I'm not picking up the harmony the first time we're listening to this. Like that was all right. So we measure speed in miles per hour, or perhaps if you live, somewhere that's not USA, you measure it in kilometers per hour. Anyway, point is, we have a way of measuring speed. So for me, I'm gonna do MPH, miles per hour. So what we just had there was a high rate of CPM equals chords per minute. We had a high rate of chords per minute. In fact, we might have even had, at this point, a high rate of chords per second. And when it goes fast, it actually takes these pair of ears a little bit longer to put 2 and 2 together. That was absolutely delightful, and one of the most harmonically dense and complex pieces of Mario Kart music we have heard in this entire series, hands down, no questions asked. The previous one we listened to, which was Mario Kart DS, we heard some stuff going down. Don't get me wrong, there was some more, harmonic complexity than the previous OSTs. This one right now, this is playing at a whole nother level. This is like proper, yeah. Awesome. So cool. Let's check out this next one. This is going to be the... All right, now let's talk about this here motif. So we have, all right, here it is. Yeah, so we have like, I'm actually gonna call this the subphrase. We're gonna talk about the subphrases here. So you have like dum 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 dum. Because they start with similar rhythms, I'm gonna call those both A's, and I'm gonna call the second one an A prime. If I put a prime, it means there's gonna be a difference in the notes, also the rhythm. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, really cool. A whole bunch of A's. Now, you might be saying, well, a whole bunch of A's, what does that even mean? Well, it means that we had a similar rhythm repeated over and over again with different and changing notes. This, by the way, this framework right here having 4 A's in a row, this is actually relatively common in video game music. We can go all the way back to music written like, let's say, for example, the Donkey Kong thing from Donkey Kong Country. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Now it's gonna be the same rhythm, different notes. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Same rhythm, different notes. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Same rhythm, different notes. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Now we can look at, for example, Sonic, Green Hill Zone. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Add one note. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Same rhythm we started with. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Add one. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. So type 4 A's in the chat if you're getting that there's 4 of the same rhythm in a row, or 4 of very similar rhythms in a row, and that is the pattern of many pieces of video game music. Now in this case, we heard that there was multiple motifs. So at the motif level, it was actually something a little bit more like an A, B, A, C within the motif. So we had one idea, a different ending, idea again, different ending, and I'll point that out to you real quick here. I know, it's literally the exact same thing. Yeah, it's gonna be A, B, A, B. Wow, really, really cool stuff. All right, let's check out this next one, which is gonna be Options Menu. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, like a phone dial. All right, check it out. So in options menu, we're in the key of D major. We're in the key of D major. And what do we hear? To start us off with, we're grooving on the 1 chord. What makes it a groove? Well, there's not really a melody as much as it is kind of like you're hanging out. It's like you're listening to a musical machine. If it feels like you're listening to a musical machine and there's no like real big melody, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a groove. Now, we hear a bass line, which is 1, 2, flat 2, sorry, flat 3, 3, 4, which sounds like this. And then it goes down to flat 6, B flat. Then it goes to flat 7, C, and then back to our 1, which by the way makes a flat 6, flat 7, 1 victory chord progression from the Mario universe. All right, let's check out this next one, which is going to be Course Intro Race. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna take like 3 minutes. I'm actually gonna figure this out. This is really cool. All right, so it's like a C to C sharp 4, C sharp 4 to be clear, not C sharp 4. Up to E flat. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Heads up. Look out. Turn your volumes down. It's gonna be a loud one. We are live, people. All right. So we got a 1, and then we've got a 1 with like a sharp 4 in it. And then we go to flat 3, and then flat 3 with a sharp 4 in it. That looks like a 9. Let's make that a proper full. A proper! Alright, hold on. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, that's not it. What the Hulk is that note? Oh, maybe that's what it is. No. Lord have mercy. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll come back and get this another time. Dang, dude. Whatever. Well, you just heard me play some interesting chords on the guitar, so that's great for all of us. All right, let's go to Luigi Circuit Mario. It's kind of like Super Mario World. Hear me out. Dun dun dum 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 dun dum dum dum. Now, does this make Super Mario Bros. Overworld theme? Like the B section. All right. Roll with me here. Da-dum dum ba-dum da-dum da-dum. Da-dum dum da-dum dum. Da-dum dum da-dum da-dum da-dum. Da-dum dum da-dum dum. Right here. Da-dum dum da-dum da-dum da-dum. Da-dum dum da-dum dum. Da-dum dum da-dum da-dum da-dum. Da-dum dum da-dum dum. Type M in the chat for Mario if you hear that right there. I just sang it to you. Then listen to it. There you go. Fits for the course. I mean that is like a Mario motif. Wow, look at that. Final lap. Let's check it out. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, da-da. Let's look at marimba in there. I do remember the cows in Mario Kart 8. Okay, so first of all, really interesting that this is 90% towards being like actually Irish music. And then what happens is the guitar's doing dum dum dum. The guitar's like bum So the guitar is doing that, which is not a very Irish way of playing the guitar. And I would know because I've listened to Irish guitar players playing Irish music on the guitar, and it is actually a competition instrument in Ireland. And if you're saying, what, there's Irish music competitions? Yes, it's called a fleadh. Don't ask me to spell it. It's something like this, F-L-E-A, perhaps? Maybe an H? Anyway, I'm so sorry to my Irish brothers and sisters if I spelled that wrong, but you get the idea. Basically, they have a competition every year, every 2 years, where they get all the different people who play all the different instruments to actually come together and compete for playing Irish music. Now, another thing in this that was not Irish was the use of the marimba. A marimba is not, I repeat, not an Irish instrument. It's not. All right, so someone's got a, thank you, Pierce Flynn 10. Appreciate you. Yeah, all right, so it's actually spelled F-L-E-A-D-H, but when you say fleadh, the D is silent. Okay. Now, see, Pierce Flynn says I'm Irish. Well, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yep. Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful culture, too. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, let's keep it cooking with Mushroom Gorge, which is also what I call it when I go get some mushroom toast from one of my favorite restaurants around here, and then I gorge on some mushrooms. All right, let's check out this next one. All right, what's that tune? All right, now it's looping. All right, so two things. Number one, there is this group, and I totally forget the name of the group, and I totally forget the name of the piece of music, but it's like a rock and panpipe thing. Also, if you ever happen to go to Mexico, you'll actually hear in certain cities people playing on the street, like street bands, like the way, like busking, like playing on the street, and you'll hear stuff that sounds like, minus the synth bass, that sounds like this. That's actually like, it's a little bit of rock, you got some guitars going on, but also some panpipes, and it's like hitting hard. You'll hear this kind of stuff in Mexico. Super, super fun, incredible. And yes, if you're going, what do you mean panpipes? If you don't know what a panpipe is, look it up. It's super, super cool. It's an awesome instrument and super versatile. More traditional, but often paired with these rock sounds, brings it into a, well, rockin' context. Let's check out this next one, which is going to be Toad's Factory. Oh, wow. All right, now if you're wondering what on earth creates that kind of big band 30s, 40s type sound thing going on there, well, it all comes down to the two primary, well, not primary, but the first two sounds we hear, which is a C minor to an A flat 7. We hear. That right there sets the tone for that brassy, saucy sound that we just heard in Toad's Factory. And in Toad's Factory, we're hearing, again, it's gonna be that 1 minor, which is gonna be our C minor, to the A flat 7, the A flat dominant chord. Now, I'm being told in the chat that I should probably skip the next one because nobody wants to listen to it. And we should just go straight to the next one, which is curious because, you know, most of the times people are actually really into watching different things. I'm really, honestly, I'm a little confused. Why, chat, do you want to skip the next one? I'm just confused in general. Oh man, it's like Toad's Factory. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, also, I'm hearing, like, gestures at Super Mario World motifs in here, if I'm not mistaken. Like... You say, well, yeah, of course you've heard that. That's it's a common 4-note sequence. But hold on. Well... I'll remember it later. Anyway, point is, that's gotta be one of my favorite mixes I've heard in this entire Mario Kart series. What's a mix, you ask? Well, in composing video game music, we really have 4 parts of it. I call this the 4M video game music composition protocol. So the first M is we've gotta make the music. I'll tell you more about that in a second. The next is we gotta mix the music. That's what I'm complementing here, and I'll explain that also in a second. The next is we need to master the music. That's not like become the master of music, but I'll actually tell you about that in a moment. And then the last is market the music. So when we make the music, first we need a composition, then we need an arrangement. All right, so for example, you could hear Coconut Mall like this, and then we could slow Coconut Mall way down, and we could make it reggae, right? All right, so that would be a different arrangement. So we could keep the same melody, but change the vibe behind it. That would change the arrangement. All right, so that's make. Now, what I'm complimenting here is the mix. It's the way in which the arrangement is presented. It's saying, okay, how loud is the saxophone? How loud are the drums? How loud is the guitar? Where does it sound like the saxophone is coming from? Like for a moment, we heard like the saxophone was like, the saxophone player was standing right over here. Whereas, we heard like a ding, like an elevator that sounded like it was coming from over here. So that's the mix, that's the balancing of the elements. Then mastering is when you get them ready for release. And then marketing is you gotta let people know that you have some music. So basically we could think about this. Make, if we think about this like baking cookies, make is you gotta get all your ingredients together. You need your flour, your sugar, your eggs, maybe some water, maybe some milk, however you make your eggs, maybe some however you make your cookies. Listen, if you're making your eggs with sugar and flour, I respect you and I'm not gonna eat your eggs. Okay, now let's go to mix. Mix is going to be where we balance it. We say, okay, how much sugar, how much flour, how much water are we gonna put into our cookies? Mastering is like when we put the music in the oven or the cookies in the oven. We gotta bake them, we gotta get them ready to eat. And in the same way, mastering makes sure that the piece of music is gonna sound good on headphones, out of speakers, on earbuds, coming out of a computer speaker, coming out of a switch speaker, all those different ways that you could get music into someone's ears. Then market is when you let people know about it. Now, if you're a gamer, you wanna make your own music, I actually got a free starter pack for you. It's pinned in the chat and it's also in the video description. So you can actually start composing your own music now using this 4M video game music composition protocol we just talked about right here. So go ahead, click on that. That's in the video description and it's in the pinned comment and also in the pinned chat in the chat. Let's keep going to the next one, which is going to be DK Summit. Oh, Nelly! This is kind of Pokemon-ish, isn't it? All right, absolutely beautiful, fantastic. That 1, 2, 3, 4 almost sounded Yoshi. If Yoshi could say words, I feel like that was that 1, 2, 3, 4 would have sounded like. Now, let's actually explore the harmony here for a moment. G's the 1 to flat 7. Flat 7. With also is like the 1 in the root. So, you ever drop something, almost catch and be like, man, I was almost Spider-Man today. All right, so we have 1. Flat 7 with 1 in the root. Here's the question. Was that a minor 4 or a flat 6? Oh, it sounded like the bass might have went. Yeah. All right, so I'm actually gonna retract that 4 minor. I'm actually gonna call that a flat 6, the flat 7. That happens real quick right there. And then it goes back to 1, to 4, flat 6, flat 7. And then it goes to E. Interesting place for it to go. To E. Now, something for us to talk about here is let's look at the pattern of this chord progression. You know, we talked about the pattern of the subphrases before and the pattern of the motifs. The pattern of this chord progression is we have an A. Then we have, it starts like an A, but it goes somewhere different. So I'm going to call this an A prime. Because we have some different things in here. We go 4, then flat 6, flat 7. And then we're back to our regular A. And now here, we've got something totally different. This is a B. We go straight to the 4 chord, and then flat 6, flat 7, which brings us to the 1 in a new key. Oh, you can't quite see that right there. There we go. That brings us to the 1 in a new key. Now, you might be saying, look, what's the point of labeling these things? The reason why we would take the time to label these things as A's and B's and C's is that we can create a framework with which to understand the sound. That's the whole point of music theory, at least for me, because I want to make music. I don't just want to understand it. Understanding's fun, but I actually want to make my own music. So I don't want to just understand the theory for theory's sake. I want to understand it in a way that then empowers me to go create music and go create more music and create different styles and genres of music and actually take the ideas that I hear and get inspired by listening to these OSTs and put them into application for my own music. So that's why we actually label things. That's why we synthesize things. That's why we take the time to break down the music theory. It's because it helps us see the pattern of the music that we're hearing. And if you can see the pattern, then you can use a pattern, then you can create your own patterns. But it starts with pattern recognition is a fantastic skill to have, and that's what music theory does. Instead of you needing to figure out what has literally taken hundreds of years and people have literally dedicated their lives to making your life easier by giving you these patterns and pattern understanding in music, you could just save yourself literally hours, years, months, decades of your life and just plug these patterns into your brain, and then you'll instantly be able to understand what's going on in the music. And again, not just understand, but then create your own. That's the true advantage of music theory. It's a time-saving tool. Let's check out this next one. Okay, so an absolutely wild piece of music, which I saw someone in the chat said this is unironically a bang. Okay, who said this? Shmuel00 says, do you think anyone considers this an unironic banger? That would be me. I consider this to be an unironic banger. I thought this was absolutely fantastic and so cool. All right, so we start off in the key of G major. We go to a 1, to a 4, to a 5 of 5, to a 5. Which I did not represent how long all of these last correctly, but that's okay. Then we're to 4, da, 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 1, da, 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 and then we go. Yeah, 4-1 to 5-1. Then 4-1 to 5 of 5 to 5. Boom, there you go. That's a fantastic bluegrassy type chord progression if you want to make your own type of bluegrassy situation. And then it goes to this. B section, which by the way is reminding me of perhaps it's Super Mario Land? One of the Mario OSTs where we had some of these sort of like bluegrassy vibes and then some really interesting B sections in the music. And you might be asking, well, what on earth is a B section? Well, to be or not to be section, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, and by opposing end them. Anyway, so a B section is, this would be like our A section. And then B section is, it sounds different, it's contrasting. We go somewhere else. And that's really what I mean by a B section. I'll point out a couple B sections to you as we go. Actually, how about I put this out to you right here. So I'm gonna call all this our A. Yeah, this is different. This is different. And because it's different, we done gonna call it a B section. All right, let's check out the next one. Oh, come on now. B section right here. Oh, bro. That's like such a Japanese chord progression. A little Pokemon-ish, isn't it? And right there, that's that dum 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 dum. That's that 3-chordal motif I was talking about in the last stream. All right, so let's talk about the A section. So the A section, we've got a 1 to a flat 7. And then it comes back to a 1, and then it does a flat 6, flat 7. Then we're back to a 1 to a flat 7. And now here it goes a little different. We do 4, flat 6, flat 7. And by the way, if you're starting to spot a pattern in the chord progressions of like, well, hang on a second. Before, didn't we have like this 1, 2, 3, 4, type thing where we have this kind of A prime, A, B. And here again, we have this similar idea of an A, kind of an A prime. You could technically call this a B, to an A, then to a B. We're having a similar pattern show up here in the chord progressions. Which, by the way, you know, when composers do this, I really would have loved to be in the room where these decisions are being made to see if it was actually a decision or if it's just the composer finds something that works and then keeps doing it. So it's like, I really would love to understand if the developer, the music supervisor, and the composer are all in a room and they're saying, hey, you know what? We need a formula to rock for the A sections for our music so that everyone feels a feeling of comfort. Like they know a pattern that's coming. We're gonna change the chords, we're gonna change the genre, but we're gonna keep an overall pattern and like actually feel a feeling of security by giving them the same pattern over and over again. I would have loved to see what that conversation was like. Because I could totally see it going that way, or the composer's just like, yeah, well, the first one got approved, so I'm gonna keep doing stuff that works. And then just goes back to this. Really cool. All right, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm getting this chord progression. I really want to get it. We're gonna do it. We got a 1 to a 3 to 4 to a flat 6. Okay, let's get this down as we go. All right, now, so we got a 1. We've got a 3 minor. We've got a, what did I say next? 4 to a, it's a flat 6. Really interesting. I think that's to a proper 6. Is that back to 2? Maybe that's not quite a flat 6. Yeah. And then is it, okay, then it's like a 6. Oi. Where was I? That's gonna be actually a 5 of 2. That's dominant chord there. All right, 5 of 2. And then, okay, and then it goes to 2. And now instead of going to 5, it actually goes to flat 7. So that's substituting the dominant for the subtonic. I think that's a flat 7. So it's actually flat 6 to flat 7 there is what it does. Flat 6 to flat 7, which by the way is how a lot of this piece has been turning around. These flat 6, flat 7s, flat 6, flat 7. Really, really cool chord progression right there. And let's go to the next one, which is gonna be something. Come on, Banjo. What just happened? We're underwater here. Wow. So peaceful. All right, so there's some dynamic music going on here depending on where you are. It looks like we've actually had this throughout. Remember I saw an inside versus outside for that mine track we just listened to. So what is dynamic music? Well, there's a couple ways dynamic music can work. In this case, because I've composed music for a couple games now, I can actually tell you how dynamic music works. So here's how it would work out. You'd have, basically, each track would be however long the section would be. So let's say, you know, each track is 2 minutes long. All right, so we have the outside version, that's 2 minutes long. Then we'd have the underwater version, that's 2 minutes long as well. And what we can hear is that it's actually the same harmony, the same chords taking place, the top to the bottom, the overworld to the water world, the not water to the water. All right, from the not water to the water to the water. Okay, so we have, you know, not water here, and we have definitely, most certainly, undoubtedly, it's obviously water right down here. Don't ask me to repeat that. So we have not water to the obviously water, okay? And basically what you do is you have the same harmony line up. It's the same speed, right? So BPM equals the same. So same. And then what happens is you can dynamically, based on a rule in the game, switch back and forth between which one you're hearing. And because the harmony is the same, melody is similar, it actually will flip back and forth. Now, the only thing you need to do is make sure that the levels are about the same here. So the loudness is going to be about the same. And then you can just flip-flop back and forth and rock and roll just like that. When I move, you move, just like that. Oh yes, and DJ, bring that back. Now that's not the only way dynamic music can work. Dynamic music could work also that, like, let's say you go to low health. You go to low health, all of a sudden you have this other thing play up here. Let's say, you know, you get near a boss, you might have a piece of music that starts playing. Let's say you go exploring for 5 minutes, another piece of music might play, right? So there's a whole bunch of different ways dynamic music can work. But in this case, if I had to guess, that's how I'd say it works. 2 tracks, identical length, exact same chord progression, different sounds, and then you switch back and forth. And you can hear that water sound, it's more subdued. The high end is rolled off. There's some beautiful synths that are just holding the area which we would call pads, because they're just padding the sound out. All right, let's check out this next one, which is gonna be, it's gonna be. By the way, if you're a gamer, you wanna compose your own music, you wanna see your music in some games, I created a free starter pack for you. It's in the description, it's in the pinned comment, it's in the pinned chat. You cannot miss it. Click on that, go get it, go get the free starter pack, get started composing your own music. If it's been something in your heart, you've been waiting, you've been putting off, now is the time. Something you've been looking for, it's also still now the time. Point I'm making is the time is now. Go click on that link and get started. Let's check out Maple Treeway. Come on now. Oh, that's actually close to Koopa Cape. Whoa, 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 hold on. No, it's similar to something else we heard before. What melody is this exactly like that we heard like 5 minutes ago? We're gonna go on an adventure. I think it's looping here. I'm gonna let it play for a second though. Yeah, it is looping. All right, let's check it out. No, that's not it. That's not it. Man, I'm telling you, we've heard that melody before. I am telling you. Maybe it's this? No. No. Where have we heard this melody before? I'm telling you, man, we've heard this before somewhere. All right. Where have we heard that before? Anyway, I'll remember it later. Let's check out this next one. Okay, so what's interesting about Grumble Volcano is if you told me that this was Bowser's Castle, if you blindfolded me and told me I was listening to the Bowser's Castle version of, which by the way, there might be a Bowser's Castle in the volcano, I don't know. But if you told me I was listening to the Bowser's Castle circuit, I would believe you for like 3 or 4 reasons. The first reason why I believe you is because we have this idea. That right there, a 1 to a flat 2 to flat 7, a 1. That right there, that's Bowserish. No doubt, Cub Scout. Next up, it sounded to me like there were 4th chords there. 4th chords. Also, something else we hear with Bowser. Next, we have a distorted sound. Something we also hear with Bowser. Then, in the B section, what do we hear? We hear chromaticisms. Again, something we hear with Bowser. Now, if you're saying, well, hang on a second, Bowser, fire-breathing, turtle dragon situation. I know he's not a dragon, he's a turtle, but I mean, come on. He breathes fire. Roll with me here, right? And then you have Fire Volcano, but contrast this Grumble Volcano to other Mario lava themes, like, let's say, Lethal Lava Land. It's like, okay, we hear the sitar, right, but other than that, very different, in my opinion. We could contrast this with the lava theme from like Super Mario Bros. Wii U, I think it is. Yeah, very different. That's why I'm saying this sounds more like Bowser to me. Go ahead, type the name Bowser in the chat if you agree with me that if you were blindfolded, you did not know this game, and you heard this piece of music and someone told you it was from a Mario game, you would think Bowser was on his way. All right, here we go to the next one. Dry, dry ruins as opposed to dry, dry docks. Interesting, let's check it out. I mean dry, dry desert? Dire docks. Bro, I'm having a senior moment, don't mind me. Dire docks, right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so that is a radical shift and a radical change in the B section. The B section. The B section. And in the B section, here we have nothing that sounds like it until we get to it. this B section. And so underneath this melody, we have, in the key of C major, in the key of C major, we have, boom, a 1 to a flat 2. See, do we go to a 3? Yeah, 1, 2, flat 2, flat 3, flat 2, 1, 1, 1. To flat 7. Back to 1. And guys, if you're going, I wonder if this is then going to be different the third time around, the answer is yes. It repeats. Dum 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 dum. I'm just gonna, we'll just copy paste this here. Dum 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 dum. And then dum to flat 7 to 4. So here, I'll play it for you as I sing it for you. So we have C major, bum, 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 dum, dum, flat 7, ba da da. Here's now bum, bum. So to be clear, we're right here now. Bum, 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 bum. Now we're on the last line, right here. Bum, bum, ba da da, bum. All right, let's keep going to the next one. Moonview Highway. Come on now. Come on, soprano sax. Wow, what a groove. So you might be wondering what on earth was happening there in the chord progression. Well, the chords were mainly hanging out on a C minor. Flat 6 to 5, back to 1 to flat 6 to 5. Back to Zivan. All right, let's check out this next one. Bowser's Castle. That's Maple Tree? I missed it. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. Now, I'm about to say something that some may find controversial. Indeed, you may disagree with what I'm about to say, and if you disagree, let me know in the chat. And if you agree, also let me know. And if you just don't care, well, then let me know or don't. That's up to you. Now, here's the thing. This Bowser's Castle, I want to go very back to the very start here for a moment. Yeah, you're telling me that's the original sound from the original Bowser's Castle? Bro, I do not remember that. If you think I was good enough at playing a Mario game to get up to Bowser's Castle when I was a kiddo, you've got another thing coming. I did not have that many hours in to get that good. However, my uncle, before speed running was a thing, my uncle was a Super Mario World speedrunner. So I have sat down with my uncle and watched him beat the entire game in like 20 minutes flat. It's disgusting. It's like insane. But the point is, I don't remember that sound because I never got there. Also, you're like, well, didn't you hear that in one of the OST reactions you did? Yeah, maybe. That was a long time ago. I don't remember that. But here's the thing. Like I said, I might say something controversial. Here's my hot take, if you will. And now joining us is music mentor Dan Spencer, who has an opinion on what's being said. Well, hi there, Sally. Yes, I'd just like to let you know that, in my opinion, that volcano theme sounded more Bowsery than Bowser's Castle. Shock and horror, shock and horror. The studio audience erupts into disarray. Yes, that's my controversial take for today, which is not that controversial. Anyway, I really enjoyed this Bowser's Castle music. Let's check out the next one, which is going to be Rainbow Road. Hashtag best uncle ever. Yes. No doubt. He is a fantastic uncle. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh. All right, so just this little intro bit right here, which is like, that's just a major chord being moved around. And if you're wondering, hey, didn't we hear something like that in the previous Rainbow Road? Yes, we did. I think we're starting to spot a pattern of major chords being moved around in Rainbow Roads in this here Mario Kart series. So what do we have here? We had a 1 major to, I'm gonna call it a 2 major, not a 5 of 5, to a flat 3 major to a 4, and then it goes 1, flat 6, excuse me, flat 7, flat 6, to flat 7, if I'm not mistaken. Right there, how much can you do with 1 chord quality? Well, a whole lot. Listen, that's just 1 major chord being moved around. So cool. I actually want to play with that here. Let's rewind that for a second. That's the 4, 1, flat 7, flat 6. And that actually goes to the 4 there. Oh, interesting. All right, does not go to the flat 7, excuse me. It goes to the 4, still major. It goes to the 4 over the 1. And is that 5 over 4? Oh no, just straight 5. Wow, super cool. Absolutely delightful. Well, let's keep it rocking to finish line first place. Let's check it out. Does anyone else see 1,429 concurrent viewers, or is that just me? So what we heard there was another, check this out. Type 3 in the chat if you can hear the 3 chord motif. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to do 1, 2. And then it changed there. Back to the 1, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So what we're hearing there, or was it flat 3, flat 7? Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, we hear that 3 chord motif we've been hearing not just throughout this Mario Kart series, but also in Super Mario as well. Let's check out losing results. Yo, this is like Metatron from Undertale. All right, hear me out. Hear me out. Tell me you don't hear Undertale right there. Tell me you do not hear Undertale right there. Right there. Metaton, thank you. Yeah, no R. Thank you very much. Yo, for real. Megatron. That's really cool. Okay, hold on. What is that chord right there? Yeah. Oh, that is really cool. Yo, Better Luck Next Time has a cool chord progression. All right, so we have a 1 to 1/3. This is a movement in the tonic area. To 4 to flat 6. What is that right there? So 6 2, 1/3. And then 5 sus 4 to 3. Whoa! That's a cool chord progression. Check it out. Bum, 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 bum. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. All right, now let's keep cooking here with this next one. Course intro, boss. All right, Nay Fenley says, was that flat 6 or 4 minor? Yeah. No, I'm gonna call that flat 6. All right, let's go to the next one. Hey! Absolutely fun. Let's go to the next one. Love those orchestra hits in there. That's a 12-bar blues. All those down, 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 down. All right, it's repeating now. Now, this is an actual 12-bar blues form with one change from a typical thing. So here we can see that we have a 1 for 4 measures. Then we have a 4 for 2 measures back to 1. Here's what's atypical here. Then it's 4 for 1 measure. Then it's 5 for 1 measure. Then it's back to 1 for 2 measures. Now, typically, you'd see a 5 to 4 to 1, 1, or 1, 5. And here it's actually reversed, a 4, 5 to 1. And that's part of what's making Chain Chomp Wheel from Mario Kart Wii sound so unique. All right, let's keep going to the next one. Well, Thwomp Desert is another one of these pieces of music where we have instruments from all different cultures coming together to create something absolutely unique. As well, here we heard a contrasting B section that was similar to the contrasting B section I started talking about contrasting B sections on, where we had that bluegrass thing and then it went somewhere totally different. This sounded reminiscent of that to me, at least in form. Let's check out Galaxy Colloseum. Listen to that orchestra hit in your left ear and then orchestra hit in your right ear. It might actually be reversed and then forward in left versus right. Wild stuff. Let's check out battle finish first place, team win, battle finish. We'll listen to a bunch of these in a row. Let's check these out. All right, listen to that one more time while I write this down. All right, so in winning results battle, we hear another 12-bar form. That is 2/3 of a 12-bar blues. Well, it's actually even closer because we have this one at the end. But like we've seen throughout this Mario Kart Wii OST, we're taking this 12-bar idea but changing it every time it comes around. So like, for example, 1-4-1-1 over here. We've got 1-4, 1-1, 4-4, 1-1, 5-4, 1-5. That's our typical. Now what we've heard here so far is 1-1-1-1, 4-4-1-1, 4-5-1-1. That, not typical. Then we hear, just now, 1-1-1-1, 4-4-1-1, flat 6, flat 7, back to 1. So this area right here is always called the turnaround. These last four measures is called the turnaround. Now typically the turnaround is going to be something like 5-4-1-5. We've heard 4-5-1-1, totally different turnaround. Now here we're hearing flat 6, flat 7, and 1. So we're getting really approaching the 1 via the subtonic as opposed to going to the dominant or indeed the subdominant. Really interesting idea there. Throwing in that flat 6, flat 7, 1 instead of a 5 or a 4 to bring us back to 1. Let's keep it going. All right, I get the idea. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, come on now. house music. You're listening to house music. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. Well, that's a fun little groovy thing right there. Oh, that's something a little different the fourth time through. Anyway, check out staff credits A and staff credits B. Oh! Oh! Wow, absolutely gorgeous. Now, before we go to staff credits B, I need to address something in the poll. I'm going to end the poll here real quick. Here's what's blowing my mind. 37% of you use tilt features to steer in Mario Kart. Do you still do that like in Mario Kart 8? Like on the Switch? Because I gotta tell you, I tried the tilt feature and it was fun, but like my level of precision using the joysticks was so much higher. Might just be me though. You let me know in the chat and in the comments what your thoughts are on tilt features versus controls. I liked the tilt features, it was fun, but when I really wanted to win, I used the controls, but that was just me. Mario motifs. Oh yeah. Wow, what an incredible original soundtrack. Incredible, incredible music. The level of skill, the level of talent, the mixing, the mastering, everything. Absolutely top tier. Incredible, incredible stuff. I loved this soundtrack. And actually, I want to go play this game. I want to go find myself a used Wii and get myself a Mario Kart Wii just to play this game. It sounded like so much fun. All right, hey, if you want to check out the full playlist of all my Mario Kart reactions, that's going to be here. The next video in the series is going to be right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.